We're on our way to Hangzhou, and our guide is Fiona. We start our day off with a punt boat ride on the beautiful West Lake. Fiona told us stories about the various sites, and about the 3 man-made islands made by dredging the lake, the oldest ones dating back to the 15th century.
After leaving the lake, we headed toward Lingyin Temple, one of the most important and wealthiest Buddhist temples in China.
The founder monk, his name is Hui Li. He traveling from ancient India to here. But when he arrived in Hangzhou, he find this place might be one of the perfect place to stay. Because with so many trees covering and with the mountains all around. In the raining days, in the springtime, it's very foggy here. Foggy or misty in the forest. Looks like this is the wonderland of the Buddhism. And he named the temple Lingyin Temple. Lingyin means to retreat ourselves. In Buddhism culture, pagoda is related with credits or points. We believe everyone have previous life, we have future life. So if you do good things, you saving your energy, you contribute yourself, you do positive stuff for the society, then you are saving your points for your next life, which can make sure you will be human being next life. If you cannot save enough points, you might go to animal level, to be a dog, to be a bird, to be a fish or whatever. And the old saying in China is, if you saved one people's life, you will be human being next life. But right now it's not easy to save people's life. Instead, the Buddhists, they were buying koi fish, turtles. They bring them into the temple and release them in the stream in front of the temple. They think that's another new way to saving lives for their future life. And what makes this small mountain famous is all because of the carvings. We have 420 in the beginning, but like I say, Cultural Revolution destroyed a lot of relics in China.
Even here, huh?
Even in here.
The Meijiawu village is known for some of the highest quality teas grown in China, particularly the Lingyin tea, also known as dragon well tea.
Hangzhou is especially famous for the green tea, the Lingyin green tea. And we have white tea, we have black tea, dark tea, oolong tea, pu'er tea, or flower tea. So green tea is one of the 6 main type of tea in China. The life of the bushes can go to 40 to 50 years old. So like very standard picking is usually we have 2 tender leaves with 1 shoots. After we pick the tea, then we air drying first. Usually it takes 5 different steps to do before the tea was well done. And we always believe the hands are the best tool to drying instead of machine drying. And usually ladies come to the field to pick. They were wearing a basket on the waist and they keep picking. You have to be very careful and you have to be very patient. You need to recognize which one is qualified to pick, which one is not yet. So you should be very careful. And the men stay at home to drying the tea by hand.
Lunch today may have looked good, but it wasn't our best. We tried ordering the Lingyin tea, but they were out. They were also out of rice. Really? Rice? In China?
The Six Harmony Pagoda looks like it has 13 stories, but it's only 7. We made the trek to the top to take in the view of the city.
That afternoon, we spent some time at Hefang Pedestrian Street. It's known for its pharmacies, many selling Chinese herbal medicines, including the wildly expensive ginseng.
This is another place that we attracted attention, with people wanting to take pictures with us in front of the Happy Buddha.
The next morning, we're on a train to Huangshan and the Yellow Mountains. Our guide today is Libby. As we travel outside of the city, we pass by fields of chrysanthemums. We'll be staying at a hotel high in the mountains, so first we have to drop off our suitcases and transfer everything we need into our day packs. After a quick 10-minute bus ride and 10-minute walk, we were on a gondola heading up to White Goose Station. Our hike to the hotel was only about an hour, but it included many steps, most of them downhill, but it made us worry a little bit about the return hike back up. Our hotel was better than expected, and we were soon settled in, ready for a short afternoon hike to Lion's Peak for a view of the sunset. Today we're hiking the West Sea Grand Canyon Trail, then taking a monorail up to the Tianhai Hotel for lunch. All along the way we see porters carrying heavy loads on their back. We were told that all the supplies for the hotels are carried up by hand, and most of the porters seem to be older, since they can't find younger people to take the job. With our legs exhausted, it was a relief to see the tram car that'll take us back up the mountain. But our rest is short, as we head on over to a viewpoint halfway to the ferry crossing bridge. We then return back to the Tanhai Hotel for lunch, before making it back to our hotel to pick up our packs for the steep journey back up to the tram car. You would think we'd have enough walking for the day, but that evening we went down to Huangshan Old Street.
Libby said we had traveled 28,600 steps while we were on the mountain. No wonder we were so exhausted.
Besides getting a little something for dinner, we bought a sample of the chrysanthemums we saw earlier, being sold for tea. This was peanut butter, made the old-fashioned way. This is Xidi Town, one of two ancient villages we're visiting. I think I'd best describe it as half museum and half village, with a complex history that dates back almost 1,000 years.
So most of the houses here would be made of 2 floors and 2 living rooms. So 1 bedroom on each side, so this is for parents. And then another 2 bedroom in the back living room, usually for grandparents. And then grandchildren usually sleep on the second floor. So it's very popular to put like a clock in the middle, and a vase on that side, and a mirror on each side. So the vase, clock, and mirror, these 3 items altogether symbolize of leading a peaceful and quiet life. It's mainly because of similar pronunciation. So vase pronounced as 瓶子 in Chinese, 瓶子, and a mirror pronounced as 镜子. So when you put these 2 together, it's called 平镜, which means vase and mirror. But 平镜 is also the pronunciation for another 2 Chinese characters, which means peaceful and quiet. There's a lot of Chinese characters that share the same pronunciation. And then when you say the sound of clock, it's pronounced as 钟声. But 钟声 is also the pronunciation for another 2 Chinese characters, which means whole life for somebody. So this is why altogether it means peaceful and quiet for the whole life. You also can find a lot of these kind of tables. So this one, you see, this is only half over here, another half put on that side. So this kind of table has with a special name. So it's named as Happy Reunion Table. So one table, but split into 2 parts. So the couple, but always separated. So they only put these 2 pieces back together when the husband come back for happy reunion. So this is why I call this kind of table as a happy reunion table. And take a look at these carvings. So this is like a shattered pieces of ice, and this is a winter blossom flowers. And in Chinese culture, it's a symbolize of starting hard for a long, long time.
This village is called Hongcun, and is the newer of the 2 villages we're visiting. dating back only about 890 years. The village is laid out in the shape of an ox, with the 4 bridges representing the legs. Both these villages gave us sort of a strange feeling, with tourists just sort of wandering around people's private homes. But I guess it helps their economy, with tourists buying items and paying the entrance fee. In the center of the village, representing the heart of the ox, is the moon pond. Libby told us the usual clear water is muddy due to construction upstream.
We had a tasty lunch at a small cafe before we headed back towards the big city to catch our train to our next stop, Shanghai.